If you want to know the definition of what dragons really are and if they actually do exist, dragons in fact do exist. They're elemental beings from this earth that are hybrids from the draconian lineage, but they're really powerful, and not all of them are all like not all of them are all evil, and not all of them are all good. You know what I'm saying? Um, what the dragons represent are different parts and aspects of ourselves. For instance, there's black dragons, white dragons, green dragons, white, red, etc., etc. Each of them have their own meaning, and you can use your inner dragon to hold that energy and use it for good. This is what I want to show y'all, okay? Hold on. I got my laptop right here, and I want to show y'all a quick example. So, there's so many dragons that are out here, it's crazy. Just because you don't see them don't mean those beings aren't there. You got to think. When you wake up in this world, this is the fourth dimension. You see what I'm saying? This is the physical. When you go to sleep, that's your perception within your mind, which is the real world. It's all in here. Your mind and soul controls your whole body and makes it do what it do. Like, for example, your soul is deep within right here, your love into your mind, your third eye. Your third eye is connected to the soul, and that can help you awaken. If your pineal gland trickles that oil in the back and your third eye awakens, you're going to see deep in what I'm talking about. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to show y'all something. Okay, so the colors and elements matter. Red and gold dragons, right? This is what it says. Red and gold dragons represent solar will, action, and sovereignty. I can't even say this. So you know what I mean. Anyways, blue and white dragons, they represent mind, clarity, water and air insight. Okay? And it's the black and green dragons that represent earth, protection, deep shadow work, and the knowing energy. You see, dragons over time started to change. Everything in the world you see it like as today is because pollution of the air, constant spiritual warfare going on. So dragons energy still exists, but you would have to awaken that dragon within you. And when you ask, what do I mean by that? I mean, elemental beings such as dragons are simply connected to all Earth's natural elements, meaning earth, air, water, fire. All of those elements are within our body, and so is blood. So when I just mentioned all these different colored dragons, each color speaks, and each color has its own meaning. Each color has its own story, and so do these dragons. And these dragons exist. And the crazy part is, in order to actually see these dragons, you would have to tap in on a deeper level during meditation, or you can meet these elemental beings through your dreams, your astral projections, and you can gain insight from them. They're living beings that are actually like elemental, so they represent spirits. These dragons are spirits that lurk within our realm, that been here for thousands of years before dragons were even made out as a so-called myth. Dragons actually exist because there's even certain breath works you can do that's literally called dragon's breath. When you're doing roaring exercises or circular breathing, you basically using your mouth to speak, and anytime you speak, it builds up heat and air. So it pushes, and you can manifest things strictly by using your inner dragon. And there's ways that you can do this differently. There's different ways you can do this. You can even find your spirit, like your companion dragon spirit. And you can awaken that dragon spirit companion within you. When you finally figure out like what's your inner dragon, I'm telling you, your mind is gonna be blown. Like seriously, your mind is definitely gonna be blown. And another thing too, Santa Muerte, she's connected to these dragons. Notice how there's different color aspects of her. There's different color aspects of dragons. So you can use her energy that she can provide you with, and you can find your dragon, your inner dragon, and your spirit companion dragon. Like there's so many different dragons, man. Like it's a lot. I kind of want to show y'all like what they look like for real, cause they're cool as hell, man. I'm telling you. They wanted to make it like these creatures are myths, but if that was so called true, then what's the point? Like, everything has truth in it. Everything has a source. Just like, for instance, if you're a spirit, let's say for instance if you're a spirit, right, and you had the ability to create anything, your creativity has to have inspiration for it to be created. Meaning a wolf wouldn't come without a dog, right? And like that's what I'm saying. It's like everything got a source. I'm about to show y'all these dragons real quick. I'm trying to pick a good picture where they shows what I'm trying to describe. But there's so many different kinds of dragons. Like it's like a lot of them. Hold on, I don't know if y'all can see it, but if y'all see what I'm seeing right now, we got the killing dragon, that's the red dragon, the Asian dragon, the blue, sea oar dragon. These dragons actually really exist. Why do you think in Chinese culture they worship dragons and they have ancestral practices? See, here's the thing. Our people been so programmed to think only one type of way, and they're so programmed to where our practice, we can't even practice our own ancestral practice without it being called demonic or outrageous. Like, here's the thing. People don't want to believe in mermaids, but if you look at a dolphin, it can communicate human-like. And it got the same fin as the mermaid because they come from the same lineage. Mermaids, mermen, and dolphins, and even some sharks come within that range, and they exist. Like people that's like saying, like a lot of people that say, oh, aliens, they can't exist. Okay, that wouldn't make sense if they didn't exist. Because if there's life on Earth, like come on now, if there's life on Earth and there's all types of planets and galaxies and even in the stars, they lie to us so much about stars that people don't know that stars are actually realms. They're portals and realms connected to other galaxies and lifetimes. There could be all kinds of... There's billions of life out there that you just ain't telling us about. You think they ain't studying this and you think they're just going to give you the truth for you to use to destroy them? Can't think like that, man. That's why I say you got to be like... That's what I'm saying. There's so many different dragons. There's the dragon, the dragon. Like, it's so many different dragon archetypes that were movies made about them that's inspired by real dragons. Dragons are not just flying, like, they're not just flying just like dragons. They're just flying birds. They're actually elemental beings, spirits that lurk within us. And all of these different types of dragons are very powerful. This is why dragons is always worshipped in different countries. Like, people gotta think. They ain't gonna never tell you this. And it's because they don't want you to awaken that dragon. They don't want you to awaken the Kundalini energy. Because that's also what dragons represent. The awakening. What I mean by the awakening, your pineal gland needs to open up. And when it trickles to the back of your spine it's literally, if you look at a spine, right? When you think about a spine, a snake spine and a person's spine is directly aligned with the Kundalini energy. because it's awakening. It's the dragon that people fear. And to see, here's the thing. A lot of people fear dragons, lizards, snakes because of the associations with the draconians. Draconians are way different from dragons. Let's get that straight. Just because they come from the similar lineage doesn't mean they're the exact same thing. In fact, dragons were guardian spirits in ancient times for our ancestors when the giants were still here. So draconians are way different. Draconians come on their own, their own star system. They come from their only draconian place, and even then, they were destroying each other on their own planet and stuff. So they went to other planets, even the moon. They went to the moon and made a holograph of it so they could collect souls from that moon, and can also drain the blood of women. This is why moon cycles are associated with menstrual cycles. And most people know this, but then there's some people that don't. I'm just trying to give y'all an example of how they're trying to hide the so-called dragons. Dragons always been here for the longest time. People just didn't realize it. People didn't awaken the energy to actually see the dragon within them. Like, we're so powerful. There's so many abilities and elements we have within our body that we can do that we never tap into because religion holds us back. Religion keeps us thinking on the physical. Spirituality pushes you up a notch to where you're past that. Like, you're way more powerful than any religion that you could think of. And most people just sit around and be like, oh, well, man, God didn't make... You can't be all religious. You can't be all religious and expect to know the truth. Because what religious people do is they'll use their so-called truth, right? They'll use their so-called truth and thinking it's true when that same person that wrote that book for them ain't even one of their people. Notice how you don't ever see no black, no people that's in the higher up. It's crazy. You never see no black popes. What I mean, you don't see never see that shit. You don't barely see no black popes. You look at all your local popes, all of them white. You might got one or two, maybe not even two. You might got one black pope out of the whole world. You don't ever see no black popes. And it's like that for a reason. This is why they want us to follow the European way of living, because they know it can enslave you here. When you're enslaved here, you're going to think you're right even if you're not right, and that could cause division, controversy, and a loss of yourself. This is what religion does. This is what I'm saying. Spirituality breaks that false reality that's built around you, so you can see past what they've just been telling you and showing you on social media, on the television, and in school. Because none of that shit don't work. None of that shit is not even real. They lied to us about everything. Even the numbers. Notice how even the numbers, when you think about it, people be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 when they count. But notice how there's no real number outside of the number 9. Because any other number that's like 10 is just 1 and 0 all over again. That's it. Even a million. People think that million should exist. Or billion, quadrillion. All that is numbers. That's just numbers building the same numbers, going over and over and over again. And notice how, since we're 9 ether beings, since our coils form the number 9, this is the 999th galaxy. So it's not a coincidence that our people are associated with the real numbers in numerology. From 1 to 9, that's the real true numbers. Any numbers outside of that just stacked on top of numbers. That's what people don't know. It's just crazy. Even letters, all of these have different meanings and sigils and meanings that was stolen from us to be recreated by them. So when we learn the English language, we could curse ourselves, because they already know that language itself is a spell. Because each word that we speak It produces frequency, and frequency can manifest. It can manifest, but not only that, our words are like air, but it's like fire at the same time. This is why they say truth. When you speak truth, you're a target. They see you destroying things around you, destroying matrices. You're basically uncovering the eyes that's been blinded when you speak truth. And a lot of people got killed. A lot of people a lot of people haven't made it out at all. So a lot of people been in jail for the truth. And that's because the English language is so powerful. And it's not even just that you're saying words and letters. It's the fact that you're actually manifesting with those words. You're helping the world with the words. And they don't want you to do that. They just don't. But it's just, yeah. You can use words to train your inner dragon. When you're trying to figure your dragon out, you have to ask yourself, even ask the ancestors or the earth, or even who you believe. It could be Santa Muerte, it could be the Orishas. You could ask them simply how to build your inner dragon. And you're going to be able to speak to your dragon, your elemental spirit, that's going to be your guardian. That's going to help train you. That's going to teach you a lot through the dreams. People think, the ancestors, the earth, everything around us is so powerful that our people are so brainwashed to see what's really going on. Each herb that's out in this world can have a cure, and they got us going to the hospital, taking poisonous pills, making profit off of it, when there's all these herbs out there. You see, they don't ever teach us that. Like, everything around us is a scam, just like the water. We supposed to be drinking straight from the clean stream from the trees. And what do? We pay like, what, $8 for one pack of water just because it looks way better. They all the same thing. They're all plastic that got microplastics in it. That's going all the way up in our shit. Like, America will never give you the truth because they want to create business off of us. They want to take our energy. They want to take our soul because they know our soul is freedom. When you're not programmed, you have your soul to operate naturally how the earth's supposed to, so you end up in the right direction. That's the power of having a soul. Not only that, once you have this, once you meditate and get good at your visuals and your inner dragon, you're not going to just be able just to control the fire, the air, the water, and the movements of everything around you and talk to spirits, but you're going to also have the energy, that powerful energy of that inner dragon. Not only that, you're going to be, this is what I'm saying, people need to wake up to be their better version of themselves. People just going to have to want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people that I see out here with potential to be more than just like a slave to their system, because that's all religion is politics. Why do you think they add marriage in the Bible? And you notice how when people get married, shit go wrong under their system, because it's all a scam for them to make money. Why do you think they built all these churches up? They print money, but they take it out of our pockets, so we're not able to build for our own selves. They want us to work to where we're too busy to focus on our own spiritual beliefs and practices, because they know the power comes within that. They know once you find out who you are, you can destroy the matrix automatically. Everybody as a whole that's actually not sleep still. This is why it's important for me to give y'all knowledge, because a lot of people won't give you what I'm breaking down. A lot of people won't sit here and teach you this stuff just to teach it to you. This is really what it is. This is real life. Your real life is the fake. Here's how they got us. They taught us the real shit. It's the crazy. They taught us the real shit's the fake shit, and the fake shit as the real shit. For instance, they taught us that Jesus was gonna come back. When he hasn't came back ever. He would have saved the slaves. He would have saved so many different people. Just like how they made up Santa Claus. Just like how they made up certain other stories to fit their narrative. Like, come on, man. The same way they got us believing Jesus is the same way kids were taught Santa Claus and believed Santa Claus was going to come out the sky. and under the chimney and shit, placing gifts under the tree, just to get you to believe it, to distract you. They've been distracting us since kids. That was the practice right there. When they started making all these pagan religions like Christmas, they can get us to believe certain shit so it aligns with their rituals they perform every year. Those elites do rituals each of these pagan holidays. You think they don't? Look them up. Pagan holidays. Everything got a meaning. Everything got a meaning to it. They're pagan holidays because they sacrifice people on Christmas for a demon that's called Krampus that they made a movie about. That's the real meaning behind Christmas. It's pagan. It's a pagan holiday. Anytime, what'd you think when Santa Claus wore red? What'd you think that mean? The color red represents bloodshed. Blood. What is blood? Iron. Like people just don't know. These are elements. It goes deep. What'd you think the mistletoe mean? It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. All of this just to try to trap us mentally, so we're not able to tap into these forces. Well, I'm here to help y'all. I'm gonna be doing a video probably tonight after this one, because I want to teach y'all how to awaken your inner dragon, and I'm gonna be doing it like tonight. I'm gonna be meditating. Incense gonna be lit. The Santa Muerte candles gonna be lit. Candles. I'm about to teach y'all how to do it, and I want y'all to watch and show y'all the benefits. But for now, y'all, thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all for listening to this, this lecture I'm giving y'all. And yeah, I'm out of here. Peace and love to y'all, man.